Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the online class. So today in this class, we people are going to learn about directive principles of state policy, isn't it? So let us moving before moving to the lesson. Let me recall the lesson what we have learned in previous class. Yes, that is 10th lesson of civics, fundamental rights and duties. Yes, so in that lesson we learned the meaning of fundamental rights. Yes, even the duties also. Not only that, even we learned which all of the fundamentals are there and which all are the duties are there. Yes, how many duties and how many fundamental rights are there. This much we people have learned in the lesson number 10th. Yes, so moving towards that 11th lesson of your textbook, that is directive principles of state policy. Yes, see, first of all let me tell you about the introduction. What is the introduction of this lesson? Yes, see, the directive principles of the state included in the constitutions helps to achieve the aims set out in the preamble of constitution. Yes, next, so let us move. Okay, let me tell you the first point is which I am going to describe now, that is meaning of the directive principles of state policy. Okay, without knowing the meaning of this, so we cannot move. Yes, so let us know about the meaning of the directive principles of the state policy. Yes, go for that. See here, the constitution has directed the state to follow some principles in order to achieve the idea welfare state. These directive principles are called as directive principles of state. Okay, let me tell you once again. The constitution has directed the states some of the principles. Principles means some of the rules and regulations the constitution has given to the following or respected state. Yes, that also directly it has given to the state. Yes, so principles in order to achieve that ideal welfare state. Okay, so these directive principles only, which the constitution already directed to the state to follow those principles only, those principles or directive principles are called as the directive principles of the state policy. So moving to the next sentence, that is the government are expected keep these principles in view while administrating the state. Yes, these are the indicators of the holistic development of India. Yes, now the comes that holistic. What is the meaning of holistic? When you will get this video, so please write down or write the meaning of this holistic and send it to me. Okay, administrate means you already know adalita. Yes, see here, let me tell you once again. The government are expected to keep these principles in view while administrating the state. When the government or the constitution of India directly they given some of the principles or they administrating the states during by using these directive principles. Okay, so these are the indicators for the holistic development of India. Okay, so government or the constitution directly it cannot rule or it cannot administrate the states. So instead of administering um, means altogether the government cannot be took care of the state. For that reason each and every state is having a different type of administration. Means like in our Karnataka, BJP is there. So Shri Yediyurappa is a CM or a Chief Minister of our Karnataka. Yes, so these all the state government is always under control of the Indian Constitution or the Indian government. Okay, next, importance of the directive principles of the state policy. What is the importance of directive principles of state policy here? The directive principles of state policy are the directions. These are the directions. Okay, how to administrate the state. Okay, these are the directions given to the central and state governments by the constitution. These directions or these directive principles or rules were given by the state government or the central government. Yes, see, it is necessary to adopt these principles while legislating, formulating, and implementing policies. Why it is necessary? Because these directive principles are necessary to adopt the principles. Yes, what kind of principles then we those means those states needs to adopt means while legislating. Okay, while legislating they need the principles or directions, while formatting, while implementing the policies. Okay, implementing the rules and regulations or the policies or the formatting, formulating and legislating. Okay, for these three things these directive principles are necessary to the state or even to the central also. The directive principles of state policy are important in achieving freedom. Okay, one more important here, this is the third important point here. The direct principles of state policy are important in achieving freedom, having equality and brotherhood, and establish the welfare state. For these reasons, our Indian constitution or our central or the state governments needs the directive principles of the state policy. Yes. Now, next moving to the next point, that is means main point, that is the directive principles of state policy included in the constitution are as follows. So now we are in this session, we people are going to learn about 11, we are going to learn about 11 policies. Okay, the first one is, among 11 the first one is social justice. Social justice is the first one, and the second one is social justice to the weaker sections, and the third one women and child welfare, fourth one labor welfare, fifth one aid to the helpless, sixth one uniform code of law to all, next one prohibition of liquor, next agriculture and association of animal husbandry, ninth one is environment, 10th protection of historical monuments, and the 11th and the last policy is international peace and security. So these all the 11 directive principles we people are going to learn in this lesson. Yes, so let's move for the first one. The first one is social justice. Yes, in social justice means among 11 I am going to tell you about the social justice. Yes, see now which main point we people are going to learn here, this the directive principles of state policy included in the constitution, which all are the directive principles that also to the state, which are or the directive principles were adopted to the states. Okay, by whom these all the things were adopted to by the constitution. Yes, so first one is social justice. To achieve the public welfare by providing social, economic and political justice to the citizen. See here, social justice means here justice is equal to each and every person. Yes, there is no discrimination or there is no barrier between the poor people or the rich people. Okay, so in front of constitution or these directive principles, the social justice is equal to everyone. Like to achieve the public welfare by providing social, economic and political justice to the citizen. Yes, in these three status we can see the social justice. Okay, next one, the second one comes, moving to the second one, that is social justice to the weaker section. Do you know which all are the weakers here? See, let us learn that only, which all are the weakers here and sections, social justice to the weaker sections. Yes, see, it is intended It is intended to provide basic needs to the weaker section. Yes, to find a remedy against economic exploitation. Do you know what is meaning of exploitation? Exploitation means shoshane. Yes, shoshane. Yes, see, providing education, economic exploitation, this social justice to the weaker section, always against to the economic exploitation, providing education and extending free legal aid to the people or to them. Yes, now comes the third one, women and child welfare. Women and child welfare. See here, weaker sections means here comes very poor persons. Yes, next woman, child, these all will comes in the weaker sections. Yes, so let us move for the third directive principle, that is women and child welfare. Here, equal wages to both men and women for the same work. Yes, maternity benefit to women, prevention of exploitation of children, facility for children to grow healthily in addition to providing free and compulsory education. See here. Yes, you can see the pictures here. The first picture is belongs to the woman and child welfare, and the second one comes free and compulsory education. See, nowadays men, either men or woman, both are in same status. Yes, nobody is higher than means woman is not higher than men, or men is not a higher than woman, both are here equal. Okay, both are in same status. Now comes the child here, from um, third third age of that child onwards to up to 14 years, he can get, or that child can get compulsory free and compulsory education. Yes, nobody can tell them, nobody can tell them you have to work. Yes, so nowadays each and every child, whether he is a poor or whether he is a rich child, he have to take a free and compulsory education. They must and should take a education. Yes, that only this third directive principle usually tells us. Okay, next comes the fourth one, labor welfare. Labor means what? Do you know what is mean by the labor? Labor is a naukarasta, karmika. Yes, labor welfare. See here, the labor, each and every labor has its own, his own freedom. Yes, nobody can beat him, nobody can undermest him. Okay, that is against of the, against rule of the constitution. Yes, so here also comes the fourth one is labor welfare, looking after welfare of labor, right to work. He, that labor also having right to work, uh, con, con, conducive atmosphere means the safety atmosphere, welfare atmosphere to work, and the safest atmosphere all to work. Minimum wages to workers. Minimum wages means a limited work they have to assign, mean they have to take. Yes, next, providing them opportunity to participate in the administration. Some of the opportunity to participate during the administration, also taking some decisions while in administrating that thing. At that time, laborers also having opportunity, means they are also having opportunity to say something. Yes, and not only that, even we people also need to give those laborers some opportunity to participate, whether it is it comes in a administration or any other thing also. Yes, see, take a homework as a meaning. When you will get this video, write the meaning of that conducive. Yes, are you able to see that? Yes, conducive. Okay, conceive, conceive atmosphere to work. Okay, see, next comes the fifth one, aid to the helpless. Do you know what is mean by the aid? If you don't know, then write even the meaning of aid also. Yes, so in this part I have given you three meanings. Yes, understood. Aid, conceive, and also I have given you to write the meaning of holistic also. Yes, next one, the fifth one is aid to the helpless. The government aid for the aged, patients, and the unemployed life. See here, aid to the helpless means whomsoever are helpless, like aged person, patients. Yes, patients means you know what is mean by the patients. Yes, patients and aged persons, and also unemployed. And unemployed means who is not having any kind of work. Okay, that person. Yes, we need to help those persons. Understood? Aged person, patients, and even unemployed. These three persons we need to do a little bit of help. Okay, how much we are able to do the help, that much we need to do the work. Yes. Next comes sixth one. Uniform code of law to all. So up to five we already completed. So let us move for the sixth one. That is uniform code of law to all. Yes, uniform code of law means law is equal to everyone. Okay, in front of law nobody is elder one, or nobody is lowest person. Yes, so see here, to enforce uniform civil law to all the citizens. Yes, so they have mentioned here only the one sentence that is regarding uniform code of law. The point is the enforce uniform civil law to all the citizens here. So guys, in the next session we will meet again. So in that session we'll learn 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 policy. So until then, take care of yourself. Bye.